Listen, I think that your country has tremendous economic potential, unbelievable, unlimited. Our relationship is a very special relationship.
All right, the president saying all the right things to try to, make sure his North Korean counterpart gets the notion here. The United States is very optimistic that North Korea will do the right thing, start denuclearizing, and good things will come of that, and make North Korea the economic juggernaut the president is convinced can still be the case. Let's get the read from Olivia Enos, the Heritage Foundation policy analyst, joining us out of Hanoi. Olivia, what do you think of this chemistry? That both seem to have hit it off. We saw signs of that in Singapore. All the letters back and forth since. It continues. But people eventually want to see something come of that. What are you hearing?
Yeah, unfortunately in Singapore, I think that the president made some concessions really without getting anything in return from North Korea. For example, President Trump really blindsided our allies by discontinuing the joint military exercises, and yet here we are coming back to the summit table here in Hanoi with really no promise that there's going to be practical, tangible steps coming next. I think it's pretty concerning, some of the rumors that we're hearing ahead of the summit about some of the promises that may or may not be made. Some of them they're hinting at may even include sanctions relief, which in my opinion would be a huge mistake for the Trump administration to walk away from its maximum pressure strategy.
You're a lot closer to this than I'll ever be, Olivia, but I got to tell you, the president, no one can fault him for not going far more than halfway. First of all, by traveling across half the planet to get there. While the North Korean leader, took a train. I understand the reasons why, and understand why that came to be. But he's got to do something, that is Kim Jong-un, in return. And if this ends up with him just making a verbal commitment to open up sites for inspectors or whatever, I don't know if that'll be enough, right?
I think Kim Jong-un is really seeking legitimacy. And so I think that the U.S. needs to communicate what it's going to take for Kim Jong-un to be viewed as a respectable and legitimate leader. That means not only making progress toward complete, verifiable, irreversible dismantlement of its nuclear program, but it also means making forward progress on human rights. And I think that it's in Kim Jong-un's long-term interest to take those steps if he really wants to be viewed as a respected leader over the long term, and to have sort of a normalized relationship with other countries in the international community.
So what do you expect? I mean, they don't have a lot of time. I think this wraps up tomorrow, right? I mean, one idea that's been bandied about is that we end the ongoing hostilities that have existed for the better part of, 60, 70 years, which would be a significant sort of fundamental development. But that might be about it. What do you think?
There are a lot of indications that President Trump is desiring to sign a peace declaration with North Korea, and I think unfortunately this is the wrong moment to sign a peace declaration, because even though a peace declaration is sort of symbolic in nature, it sets us on a path toward a goal that North Korea has sought for a long time, which is the eventual withdrawal of U.S. troops from the Korean Peninsula. And I think that today we're just not at a good point where it would be a wise idea to move toward that direction, particularly since the president did get so little out of the Singapore summit. We are frankly no closer to a denuclearized North Korea today than we were prior to when we met in Singapore.
All right, well, hope springs eternal, and maybe there's something going on behind the scenes that we don't know, but we'll see. Olivia, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
By the way, those same conditions could apply to these ongoing back and forth China trade talks that are